All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. All praises to the elect of Israel out there practicing the law of liberty. We just want to continue our reading in the book of the secrets of Enoch. I think we finished up in chapter 23 last reading, so we're going to pick up at chapter 24. So, like I said, always, I like to try to keep this between 15 and 20 minutes. So, we'll see how this goes. Starting out at chapter 24. Of the great secrets of power, which power revealed and told to Enoch and spoke with him face to face. And the Lord summoned me and said to me, Enoch, sit down on my left with Gabriel. And I bowed down to the Lord. And the Lord spoke to me, Enoch, beloved, all thou seest, all things that are standing, finished, I tell to thee, even before the very beginning. All that I created, from none being, invisible things from invisible. Hear, Enoch, and take in these my words, for not to my angels have I told my secret. And I have not told them their rise, nor my endless realm, nor have they understood my creating, which I tell thee today. For before all things were visible, I alone used to go about in the invisible things, like the sun from the east to the west, and from the west to the east. But even the sun has peace in itself, while I found no peace, because I was creating all things, and I conceived the thought of placing foundations and of creating visible creation. Chapter 25. God related to Enoch how out of the very lowest darkness comes down the visible and invisible. I commanded in the very lowest parts that visible thing should come down from invisible. And Adol came down very great. Adol, that's Adoil, Adol, came down from very great. And behind him, and lo, he had a belly of great light. And I said to him, become undone, Adol, and let the visible come out of thee. And he came undone, and a great light came out. And I was in the midst of the great light, and there is born light from light. There came forth a great age, and showed all creation, which I had thought to create. And I saw that it was good. And I placed for myself a throne, and I took my seat on it. And I said to the light, go thou up higher, and fix thyself high above the throne, and be a foundation to the highest things. And above the light there is nothing else. And then I bent up and looked up from my throne. Chapter 26. God summons from the very lowest a second time that Archas, 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 heavy and very red should come forth. And I summoned the very lowest a second time and said, let Archas come forth hard. And he came forth hard from the invisible. And Archas came forth hard, heavy, and very red. And I said, be opened, Archas, and let there be born from thee. And he came undone, and age came forth, very great and very dark, bearing the creation of all Lord things. And I saw that it was good, and said to him, go thou down below, and make thyself firm, and be for a foundation for the lowest things. And it happened, and he went down, and fixed himself, and became the foundation for the lowest things. And below the darkness there is nothing. Chapter 27. Of how power founded the water, and surrounded it with light, and established on it 7 islands. And I commanded that there should be taken from light and darkness. And I said, be thick, and it became thus. And I spread it out, with the light, and it became water. And I spread it out over the darkness below the light, and then I made firm the waters, that is to say, the bottomless, and I made foundation of light around the water, and created 7 circles from inside, and imagined it like crystal water and dry, that is to say, like glass, in the circumsessions of the waters and the other elements. I showed each one of them its robe, and the 7 stars, each one of them in its heaven, that they go thus, and I saw that it was good. And I separated between the light and between the darkness, that is to say, in the midst of the water, hither and thither. And I said to the light, that it should be the day, and to the darkness, that it should be the night. And there was evening, and there was morning of the first day. Chapter 28. The week in which God showed Enoch all his wisdom and power throughout all the 7 days, how he created all the heavenly and earthly forces, all moving things, even down to man. And then I made firm the heavenly circle, and I made that the lower water which is under heaven collect itself together into one whole, and that the chaos become dry, and it became so. Out of the waves I created rock hard and big, and from the rock I piled up the dry, and the dry I call earth, and in the midst of the earth I call abyss, that is to say, the bottomless. I collected the sea in one place and bound it together with a yoke. And I said to the sea, behold, I give thee thy eternal limits, and thou shalt not break loose from thy component parts. Thus I made fast the firmament. This day I call me the first creation. The first created, Chapter 29. Then it became evening, and then again morning, and it was the second day. Monday is the first day, the fiery essence. And for all the heavenly truths, I imagined the image and essence of fire, and my eye looked at the very hard, firm rock, and from the gleam of my eye, the lightning received its wonderful nature, which is both fire and water and fire, and one does not put out the other, nor does the one dry up the other. Therefore the lightning is brighter than the sun, softer than the water, and firmer than the hard rock. And from the rock I cut off a great fire, and from the fire I create the order of incorporeal, 10 troops of angels, and their weapons are fiery, and their remnant a burning flame. And I commanded that each one should stand in his order. Here Satanael, with his angels, was thrown down from the height, and one from out the order of angels, having turned away from the order that was under him, conceived an impossible thought to place his throne higher than the clouds above the earth, that he might become equal in rank to my power. And I threw him out from the height with his angels, and he was flying in the air continuously above the bottomless. Chapter 30. And then I created all the heavens. The third day was. And on the third day, I commanded the earth to make grow great and fruitful trees and hills, and the seed to sow, and a planted paradise, and enclosed it, and placed an army guardians, flaming angels, and thus I created renewal. And then came evening, and came morning, the 4th day. On the 4th day I commanded that there should be great lights on the heavenly circles, and on the first upper circle I placed the stars, Chrono, and on the second Asphodite, Aphdit. On the third Aris, Aris, and on the 5th Zeus, and on the 6th Hermes, and on the 7th lesser the moon, and adorn it with the lesser stars. And on the lower I placed the sun for the illumination of day, and the moon and the stars for the illumination of night. The sun that it shouldn't go according to each animal. 12. And I appointed the successions of the months and their names and lives, their thundering and their hour markers, how they should succeed. Then evening came and morning came, the 5th day. And on the 5th day I commanded the sea that it should bring forth fishes and feathered birds of many varieties, and all animals creeping on over the earth, go forth over the earth on 4 legs, and soaring in the air, male sex, female, and every soul breathing the spirit of life. And there came evening, and then came morning, the 6th day. And on the 6th day I commanded my wisdom to create man from 7 consistencies. One his flesh from the earth, 2 his blood from the dew, 3 his eyes from the sun, 4 his bones from stone, 5 his intelligence from the swiftness of angels, and from cloud 6 his veins, and his hair from grass of earth, 7 his soul from my breath and from the wind. And I gave him 7 natures, to the flesh hearing, to the eyes for sight, to the soul smell, the veins for touch, blood for taste, bones for endurance, and intelligence sweetness. I conceived a cunning saying to say, I created man from invisible and from visible nature. Of both are his death and life and image. He knows speech like some created thing, small in greatness, and again great in smallness. And I placed him on earth, a second angel, honorable, great, and glorious, and I appointed him as a ruler to rule on earth, and to have my wisdom, and there was none like him on earth, and all my existed creatures. And I appointed him a name from the 4 component parts, from east, from west, from south, from north, and I appointed for him 4 special stars. I called his name Adam, and showed him the 2 ways, the light and the darkness. And I told him, this is good, and that bad, that I should learn whether he has love towards me or hatred. That be clear, which his race loved me. For I have seen his nature, but he has not seen his own nature. Therefore, through not seeing, he will sin worse. And I said, after sin, what is there but death? And I put sleep into him, and he fell asleep. And I took from him a rib and created him a wife, that death should come to him by his wife. And I took his last word and called her name Mother, and that is to say Eve. 31, chapter 31. O power God gives over paradise to Adam, and gives him a command to see the heavens open, and that he should see the angels singing the song of victory. Adam his life on earth, and I created a garden in Eden in the east, that he should observe the testament and keep the command. I made the heavens open to him, that he should see angels singing and song of victory in the gloomless light. And he was continuously in paradise. And the devil understood that I wanted to create another world, because Adam was Lord on earth to rule and to control it. The devil is the evil spirit of the lower places. As a fugitive, he made Sotanah from the heavens, as his name was Satanael. Thus he became different from angels, but his nature did not change, his intelligence as far as his understanding of righteousness and sinful things. And he understood his condemnation in the sin which he had sinned before. Therefore he conceived through thought against Adam. In such form he entered and seduced Eve, but did not touch Adam. But I curse ignorance. But what I have blessed previously, those I did not curse. I curse not man, nor the earth, nor other creatures, but man's evil fruit in his works. Chapter 32. After Adam's sin, power sends him away into the earth whence I took thee, but does not wish to ruin him for all years to come. I said to him, Earth thou art, and into earth whence I took thee, thou should go, and I will not ruin thee, but send thee whence I took thee. Then I can again take thee at my second coming. And I blessed all my creatures, visible and invisible. And Adam was 5.5 hours in paradise. And I blessed the seventh day, which is the Sabbath, on which he rested from all his works. Chapter 33. God power showed Enoch the age of this world, its existence of 7,000 years, and the 8,000 is the end. Neither years, nor months, nor weeks, or days. And I appointed the 8th day also, that the 8th day should be the first created after my work, and that the first 7 revolve in the form of a 7,000, and that at the beginning of the 8,000 there should be a time of not counting, endless, with neither years, nor months, nor weeks, nor days, nor hours. And now, Enoch, all that I have told thee, all that thou hast understood, all that thou hast seen of the heavenly things, all that thou hast seen on earth, and all that I have written in books by my great wisdom, all these things I have devised and created from the uppermost foundation to the lower and to the end, and there is no counselor nor inheritor to my creations. I am self-eternal, not made with hands and without change. My thoughts is my counselor. My wisdom and my word are made. My eyes observe all things, how they stand here and tremble with terror. If I turn away my face, then all things will be destroyed. And I applied thy mind, Enoch. Know him who is speaking to thee, and take thou the books which thou self hast written. And I give thee Samuel and Rigo, who led thee up in the books, and go down to earth, and tell thy sons all that I have told thee, and all thou hast seen from the lower heaven up to my throne, and all the truths. For I have created all forces, and there is none that resisted me, or that does not subject himself to me. For all subject themselves to my monarchy, and labor for my sole rule. Give them the books of the handwriting, and they will read them and will know me for the creator of all things, and will understand how there is no other God or power but me. And let them distribute the books of thy handwriting, children to children, generation to generation, nations to nation. And I will give thee, Enoch, my intercessors, the architect Michael, for the handwriting of thy father Adam, Seth, Enos, Canaan, Mahalalel, and Jared, thy fathers. Chapter 34. Power convicts the idolaters and sodomites, fornicators, and therefore bring down a deluge upon them. They have rejected my commandments, and my yoke worthless seed has come up. Not fearing power, they would not bow down to me, but have begun to bow down to vain gods, and deny my unity, and have laden the whole earth with untruths, offenses, abominable lecheries, namely one with another, and all manner of other unclean wickedness, which are disgusting to relate. And therefore I would bring down a deluge upon the earth, and will destroy all men. The whole earth will crumble together into great darkness. Chapter 35. Power leaves one righteous man of Enoch's tribe with his whole house, who did power pleasure according to his will. Behold, from thy seed shall rise another generation much afterwards, but of them many will be very insatiate. 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 He who raises that generation shall reveal to them the books of thy handwriting, and thy fathers to them, to whom he must point out the guardianship of the world to the faithful men and workers of my pleasure, who do not acknowledge my name in vain. And they shall tell another generation, and those others, having read, shall be glorified thereafter more than the first. Chapter 36. Power commanded Enoch to live on earth 30 days to give instruction to his sons and to his children. And after 30 days, he was again taken on to heaven. Now, Enoch, I give thee the term of 30 days to spend in thy house, and tell thy sons and all thy household, that all may hear from my face what is told them by thee, that they may read and understand how there is no other power but me, and they that may always keep my commandments and begin to read and take into the books of thy handwriting. And after 30 days, I send my angels for thee, and he will take thee from earth and from thy sons to me. So we'll stop right there, chapter 36. I hope this reading was a blessing to you. Listen to this video a couple times and just meditate on the reading. And I hope it uplifts your spirits. May the Lord, the Most High, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, bless you.